Hi, Dash. You're a silly doggy. Hi, buddy. Hey, puppy. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Darlene and this is Earth and Medicine. So it's been a little bit since I've posted a video. I kind of shared in a previous video how I got into residency in Iowa, and since then I have moved across the country from Nevada to Iowa, and I've already started residency in internal medicine. So it was quite a trip moving across the country. We have a lot of animals. We have the 2 Welsh ponies. We brought my boyfriend's golden retriever, Dash, and we have my bird. His name's Squeakhead. He's a little quail. And we have a really big fish. He's a plecostomus, and he's about 1 foot long. And then we also have a bunch of aquatic snails. So we have quite the zoo, and I've never moved with animals before. It took us 3 days to drive about 1,500 miles, and it was definitely in the heat of the summer. So it was really difficult to get the horses to eat and drink in the trailer. They get pretty stressed out, especially because I don't really trailer that much. And doing a 3-day cross-country trip in summer is pretty stressful for horses. So on the second day, I actually was a little bit worried about my horses colicking. They were just starting to get kind of sucked up in their flanks and a little bit tender when I was just touching their flanks. And so I had planned ahead by getting some Banamine paste from my vet, and so I actually gave both horses a dose of Banamine 2 days in a row, and that actually really helped. We stopped in Salt Lake City, Utah the first day, and it was probably about a 9-hour drive. The second day we stopped in Ogallala, Nebraska, and that was a really long drive. That was probably 12 hours or more. I took the horses out in Nebraska, and I think we stopped at a McDonald's and is at a truck stop, and I let the horses out and I just let them eat grass because they hadn't really been drinking any water or eating, and I figure at least the grass had some water in it. And then the next day we drove from Ogallala into Iowa City. The third day was a pretty long drive as well. I let the horses out again to eat in Nebraska, and it was just sweltering hot. It was so humid. Yeah, I think that was our first experience of the Midwest and the heat and the humidity. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what it's gonna be like in Iowa. Luckily though, it hasn't really been like that here. It's been pretty mild. We've been getting up to actually the 90s and maybe 100, but definitely. So compared to the heat in Las Vegas, it's actually been pretty nice here for us. It is definitely more humid. I think we've kind of gotten used to it, but I don't really mind the humidity. I think the horses probably think a little differently. They're out in pasture now. They have some shelters for shade, but as far as the humidity, you know, they're out in it all day long. And I actually have Candy blanketed with a fly sheet all the time because since we moved here, she started to develop really severe hives, and she'd never done that before. So I think there's just like these biting gnats, and she just kind of gets a reaction from them. So they get pretty hot, but I think they're getting used to it, and they're kind of back to their normal weight. They lost just a little bit of weight on the move from stress, and probably just change in diet and eating a lot of green grass now. It's a little different for them. Ponies are looking good, and I try to go out there and visit them throughout the week. Since residency started, I've probably been able to go out there 2 to 3 times a week, and so far I've had all of my weekends off, so I'm usually out there riding the horses. So I haven't posted a video in a while, and when I was back in Las Vegas, I had done a ton of filming before residency started, and I would take my new Welsh pony Sunny out, and we would go to Red Rocks or some of the other trails in Las Vegas, and I did a lot of filming and a lot of just kind of like bringing you guys along on my trail rides, but I didn't get a chance to edit it before I moved. So I'm kind of considering like maybe I will just continue to edit those videos and throw them in along with my new videos here in Iowa. And it'll be pretty obvious because the desert is it's not green like this, so people might get a little confused. I really liked the filming I had done, and I'd be sad if I didn't share it, so I think I will just kind of like put those videos up on YouTube and, you know, share that experience that I had with my horse back in Las Vegas. So another thing I wanted to talk about was, I guess, the content that I want to put on my channel. Just kind of trying to balance whether I want to niche down with my channel or just kind of keep it broad. And it's kind of hard because the way YouTube works is it analyzes the content of your videos, and then it finds a common theme throughout your channel, and then it shares those videos with people who search similar content. My channel, I have a lot of things about horses and training my horses or starting colts or just trail riding with my horses, and with that, it's sending my videos to viewers who are looking for that or who watch a lot of videos like that. But I also like to post a lot of videos about other things in my life. I just like to highlight the adventures that I go on with my boyfriend or with my family. It spans like a huge range of activities. So I have this video that I've been editing for a long time of my brother wingsuiting and skydiving, and I'm really excited to post it because I just love the footage. Pretty much all of my past videos are horse training videos because I was kind of trying to niche down and have my channel more exclusively just based on horses and horse training. This will help with building my channel and getting more followers and getting YouTube to promote my channel. But the downside of that is I don't really get to share those other parts of my life that I really enjoy and that I really like filming and editing, and that I just really want to share with people and with my family. It makes me really happy that I know like my family members watch my channel, and we're all kind of spread out throughout the US right now, and so it's kind of a way for me to connect with my family. I would just like to start sharing more of my other videos about the other activities in my life. I just think I'm gonna start doing that and kind of get back to doing that actually. My original videos are much more broad and kind of show all of the random things I do. Today I just kind of decided to start filming and not really plan out what I'm going to film or what I'm gonna say. It's kind of freeing because I guess there's less pressure. Maybe I don't have to do as much like B-roll filming or exactly have a plot. But the good side of it is at least I'm sharing what I'm doing and I'm connecting with you guys on YouTube. I don't want to let so much time go by between my previous videos and the current events in my life. And I also really want to share with you guys what residency is like for me. I know it's going to go by fast, and if I don't film for months, there's going to be probably a lot of things that I miss that I wish I would have filmed and wish I would have talked about. I guess with that I can kind of talk about what residency has been like so far. I started out on surgical co-management, and it was a really nice rotation to start on because I saw maybe 2 patients per day in the hospital, and we were a consult service, so it was pretty much surgeons at the hospital either pre or post surgery. If they had medicine related questions, they could consult us for advice. We didn't have to handle like pretty much everything with one patient. You could kind of just give advice for certain questions, and it was really nice for me to kind of help boost my confidence and remember how to use our electronic medical record and just kind of get back into the swing of things. It had been months since I had last seen patients in medical school between that and starting residency, so I felt pretty rusty. After that, I started my Y week, and our schedule it's an X plus Y schedule for our residency. So pretty much that means for 4 weeks you'll be doing either like in hospital or consult service medicine. It also can be outpatient clinics, but you can also pretty much always be called in to cover people. We call that like jeopardy. So if another resident can't make it, you'll be on a list and you could be called. So that's for 4 weeks, and then every 5 weeks you have your Y week, which is your outpatient clinic week. And with that, you always have that following weekend off. So that's called your golden weekend. I happen to have mine after 2 weeks of surgical co-management, and then I had my Y week. And so I've pretty much had the weekends off ever since residency started. And this is only like the start of my 4th week, so it wasn't very long ago. But it's been nice to have those weekends off. Now I'm starting my first wards rotation. This is my 2nd day. Today's a Tuesday. So far it's been really good. We haven't had our long call day yet, so I actually haven't had my own first admit. I've only seen patients that were previously admitted. That's also been nice because once again, I'm able to kind of build my confidence and just remember all those little things that I haven't done or like in a very long time. And it gives me some time just to like slowly come back to speed and just feel like I know what I'm doing. So tomorrow is my first call day, and so we have only a few patients on our list right now, so we are going to get a ton of admits. That'll be good for me. I think I'm ready for it and just kind of gotta dive in. Tristan and I have really liked living here in Iowa so far. I love how green it is. I love just being able to garden, and we walk to the hospital every day, and along the way I look at all the flowers and the trees, and we see a lot of deer. I see golden eagles pretty often, as well as bald eagles, and that is just super cool. They are huge. They are really big birds. So I see them a lot in the forest and then along the river here. And we just love gardening. So I will show you guys our garden. We've been planting pumpkins. We have some corn, zucchini, just kind of a bunch of other random things. Tons of tomatoes. And our neighbor actually let us take over their overgrown garden. And so we've been weeding and planting things, and it's really enjoyable for us. I've also been feeding the birds, and we don't have any pigeons here, so that is nice because the pigeons kind of took over our bird feeders in Las Vegas. It was kind of hard to bird watch, except I do like watching pigeons, so it was good for that. But here there are a lot of finches, there are cardinals, a lot of American robins, a few other birds I haven't identified yet. There's usually like 40 birds at the bird feeder at all times. They go through our bird feeders probably in 2 days, so I can't keep up with them, and it stays empty pretty often. Rains probably weekly. I'd say weekly thunderstorms. We haven't had really any storms that we're worried about the roof being torn off yet, so that is good. We see a lot of down trees along the river, which is pretty surprising. I know they had a really bad flood in 2007, which took out actually a lot of the houses around the house that we rent now. So hopefully there aren't any floods soon. We've also really enjoyed biking. Where we live in Iowa is very bike friendly, and so we either walk downtown or we just bike around. And I didn't really do a whole lot of biking in Las Vegas because it felt very dangerous and things were much farther apart. It's very freeing just to be able to get on a bike and just ride, and yeah, you kind of feel like you're flying, and yeah, it's very therapeutic, so we really like our biking. Okay, let me show you our garden. Okay, so these are pumpkin plants, and they are starting to flower, along with our tomatoes here. This is zucchini, some other kind of melon, I think maybe some cantaloupe in there, some more tomatoes, some peas and corn. You can see my cacti back here, reminding us of Las Vegas in the desert. And then I have some started sunflowers as well as pumpkins in there. And then I think these melons surrounding it are cantaloupes. And then we have a very big rain gauge here, which we are hoping to see get filled. We shall see. That looks like a lot of water. So we have this huge silver maple back here. It provides really great shade for our backyard. It's very nice for Dash, because Dash stays outside all day. So, okay. Yeah, this is our backyard. All grass, which is really awesome. We didn't have any grass in Las Vegas in the house that we rented, and so it's been really nice, and our landlord mows for us, so during our busy schedules with residency, we don't have to do yard work, even though we do like doing yard work. But, so this over here is our garden. So we actually got permission to tear out some of this grass from our landlord and went and bought this plastic fence so Dash, our dog, doesn't tear up the garden because he likes to dig. And we bought some started strawberries, an eggplant. We also have a lot of jays, those birds. We have some woodpeckers and blue jays and stuff. But and then we also have a pumpkin in here and just a bunch of tomatoes. Some water drainage ditches along here, just because it does tend to pour rain when it rains here. And we didn't want any root rot happening. It is July, and you can see our pumpkins are not very big, so who knows if we will get really anything before winter, but it's still really fun just to plant. So that's our little garden, and I'm really excited to see how it turns out. Hopefully we get something we can eat this summer, and if not, we will just kind of start earlier next spring after the extreme cold kind of subsides here in Iowa. I guess I've got some other plants over here that I transitioned outside that I couldn't grow outside back in Las Vegas. So this is my Queen of the Night plant, and it just bloomed for the first time last night. I've never seen a bloom like that before. This plant is from my grandma Gladys, and it's very special to me because she gave me a little clipping a long time ago, and I've been growing it for years, and then now we moved to Iowa and it finally bloomed. It smelled so good, and it only blooms at night, and I'm so happy we caught it last night. And we also saw it at like 6 a.m. this morning. So here's the plant. So the purple plant is not Queen of the Night, but the Queen of the Night is this plant along here. And then this is the very big flower. This is my hand for comparison. And it was just so beautiful last night. We also have this really cool tumbling composter. And then we put our scraps in here. It's really fun to use. And then this is my Norfolk pine that Tristan got for me that I love, and it's doing so well outside, so very exciting. Well, I will have to film the horses in their new habitat here in Iowa just to show you guys just how they're doing and say hi. So I think that's all for today, but thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, check out the other videos on my channel, like and subscribe, and join me next time.